This video describes how to interpret a track geometry trace and the track geometry fault report sheet to determine the type, size, and location of faults. The track geometry fault report contains the immediate and intervention limits for faults identified during the track geometry recording run, detailing a list of actionable track geometry faults. Dip angles are recorded separately in the dip angle defect report. General information is found at the top of the page, including the run date and route that the vehicle was intending to take, the route setting tape number, or RST, the maintenance route and delivery unit, track maintenance engineer, and the section manager area. Below this, the faults are listed and detailed in the same way. Fault information contained within the report is the engineer's line reference, or ELR, the track ID, the mileage, GPS coordinates, line speed, channel or type of fault, peak, which is the fault size, threshold or permitted limit, action detailing the maximum rectification timescales, and a space to sign and enter a rectification method and date delivered. Details of the rectification must be written on the report with further details written on the back if necessary. The track maintenance engineer and section manager should only endorse the report if the correct information is detailed and all faults listed on the sheet have been rectified. Each fault has a unique GPS coordinate, and the iPhone GPS Finder app has been developed to accurately locate them. Using GPS coordinates to locate faults is considered best practice because reported mileage of defects can be inaccurate, sometimes up to as much as 10 chains, which could mean that the wrong fault may be worked on. On the iPhone, open the app, then press the plus icon in the top right corner. It is useful to name each fault if you have more than one defect to find. In the box, type the location and press Done. On the next screen, the N box is highlighted. Type in the first 8 numbers for the GPS coordinates on the fault log. It is entered as 4 digits, full stop, and then 4 digits, even if they're all zeros. It is important to look at the fault log to see if the last 8 digits have an E or W next to them. If the fault log shows an E, tap in the W box and it will change to E. Enter the second set of 8 digits as listed in the fault log in the same way as the N box. Press the Save icon in the top right corner and it will now appear on the location list. To save time on site, the location of all the faults can be entered to populate the location list. Select the fault from the location list and an arrow will appear pointing in the direction of the fault, the distance in meters from the coordinates, and also the level of GPS accuracy. As you get closer to the location of the fault, the distance away number will decrease. When you get within 5 meters of the fault, the phone will vibrate and then the screen changes color to navy blue at 3 meters away. If the compass interference symbol appears, slowly move the phone in the figure of 8 until the signal is regained. The trace represents a visual image of dynamic movement of the track. There are 2 trace systems available, Delta Rail and Serco Lewis, producing identical data but different looking traces, although both detail the information in channels. The Delta Rail trace should be printed in color. This is because valid data is indicated as a black line, and faults which need to be actioned are highlighted in red. Gold is invalid data. Occasionally, the TRV may record data which cannot be validated. This may be for numerous reasons, for example low-speed recordings or system self-invalidation. If this non-validated data is available, it is shown on the trace as gold lines. Faults found within these sections will not appear in the action report. The track engineer should review these sections and carry out actions as necessary. A trace is a visual representation of readings taken on the track. If the measured readings were plotted on a graph, it would look like this. The trace is the graph squashed up. The trace is read left to right, regardless of the train's direction of travel or mileage. Each page represents a mile of track and has a vertical line every eighth of a mile. Each eighth is equivalent to 10 chains. Occasionally, there are two vertical lines close together. These are showing short eighths. Short eighths can appear where the mileage is not continuous, or where there's been a manual resync of the mileage by the on-train team. For faults other than gauge and top faults, the trace is read as if standing in the forefoot, looking towards the direction of travel. In each channel, the top line indicates the left rail, or plus side, and the bottom line indicates the right rail, or negative side. Channels are split and identify twist or dynamic cross level over 3 meters, top left and top right measured over 35 meters, dip angle, track alignment measured over 35 meters and 70 meters, mean top over 70 meters, gauge, cross level, curvature, and cant deficiency.